I think Rosalee's often torn. You saw a lot in season 2, her family connection to the resistance. I mean, she comes from a political family, and her personal connection to all that stuff, and really seeing the underbelly of how shit really goes down. And I think Monroe is naive to those things, and so I think Rosalee, he's a lot more willing to get in there impulsively, and Rosalee's, I think, thinks more like, okay, she knows the domino effect of these decisions that they make, and so she's a little bit more apprehensive, not because she's scared, not because she can't handle it, but more like she really knows the reals, what's behind the curtain. And so, I think she's torn. Like, can she catch a break? I mean, yes, I think on one hand she wants to have this quiet life, but she also, she's a leader. I think she could absolutely lead a resistance. And, she had, with that carnival episode in season 3, she really, I think, stretched her muscles of being an activist and being a voice for people who don't have a voice. And I think that really suits Rosalee. So I'm sure, I think there's a constant push and pull of wanting to hang back, but then being pulled to be at the front line. I love how unapologetic she is. There was that episode where that little boy was seemingly possessed, but really it was just this weird infection. And I basically sent the council to go kill this child. And I remember reading that script and I'm thinking, well, that's pretty gnarly. Like, that's pretty hardcore. And there's that moment in our living room where Monroe challenges me and says, I'm calling Nick. And I said, don't. You don't understand the repercussions of this decision. And he said, well, I don't care. And I love that they first had us be on opposition, and also Rosalee is so nurturing and so sensitive that to see that she's really hardcore, and she's law above all else, and what's right, I think is really cool. Yeah, I hope so. It's always fun to see why people are who they are. I love that episode because it really answered a lot of questions for Rosalee, and I'm glad that they gave that to the fans. We'll see. There's been no plans of that yet, but. Well, I hope these two get a honeymoon. I mean, we're trying to get on our honeymoon, I will say, and these two are in love, and they want, they want to be in love and go and celebrate their being newlyweds. But pretty much, Nick's loss of ability really trumps a lot of things in this first episode. The wedding was so important, but then once we went in that back room and realized, oh my gosh, he's not a Grimm anymore, that took precedence over everything else. So, it pretty much starts where we left off in 401.